Thank you for joining us. Time for Fashion Watch. My name is Lillian Muli. Use the hashtag Fashion Watch. SMS us using 22422. Our Fashion Watch panel in studio every Saturday right here on Citizen TV. Ian Bogwa, celebrity thespian, looking at this week's trends and telling us what is fashionable currently in the country and beyond. Also with us tonight, award-winning fashion journalist Carol Odero, also critiquing this week's fashion trends, and she will be telling us what she thinks about what we have for you tonight. Also with us, Robert Burale, image consultant, motivational speaker, critiquing this week's trends, and fashion stylist, celebrity fashion stylist Annabelle Onyango, also looking at this week's fashion trends. Let's begin with the Groove Awards 2016, and these were held at on Sunday, this past Sunday, and that is rather Wednesday, I beg your pardon. This is Faith Materi. She's a presenter, and she chose to wear, actually this is a gown, a wedding gown, and this is what I saw on her Instagram page, or I think some Instagram page, that it was a rental. So yeah, I mean, a good point to note, Annabelle, that when you're going for these events, there's actually places where you can hire gowns. We don't know for sure whether she hired it, but I know that the persons who sold or leased this gown to her actually said that this is where she got the gown from, and they're called a rental, I don't know what. What do you think about this pink or peach gown on Faith?
I love this gown on her. Bridal fashion is a fashion that can come actually out of weddings onto the red carpet. So it's actually really fashionable. I love the lace overlay on top of the, I would call it blush color. Blush is sort of a soft pink. I think it looks really beautiful and princess-like, and all girls want to, you know, look like a princess every now and again. I think she looks lovely. The only thing, or the only two things I will say, is the event organizers keep messing up girls' beautiful looks with these event tags that just make your outfit look really, it downgrades your look. So they really should stop doing that. And then her purse, I think, shouldn't have been black. I think it should have been sort of more congruent to her very light neutral tone. So I think she should have worn a lighter bag. But otherwise, what a beautiful dress. Bob.
No, she never disappoints. I think she looks fantastic. And I disagree with Annabelle on the bag. I think it's right that she went darker as opposed just to going all same color. And really, nothing much to say, but absolutely fantastic.
Carol, is this a win for you?
Well, I love the dress. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very Hollywood, very glamorous. You know, if you had to pick a dress for the red carpet, this is definitely a win. I actually agree with Annabelle on the handbag, on the bag. I think it's too dark, and it's more like a formal bag with a very nice, pretty dress. I think she could have gone with something more whimsical or more interesting, something lighter in color. And I like that she got this dress on loan, because that's actually how the red carpets work. Yeah. You get a dress, you wear it, you take it back, you don't keep it, because most of them are so expensive. You really cannot afford to do it unless you know it.
Yeah, so there's no shame in hiring one. Okay, Ian, your thoughts?
Love it, love it, love it. Now, Groove Awards, this is the 11th one, and it is clearly the biggest award ceremony in Kenya. Clearly.
For music or just general?
It's music, it's gospel music. Yes, and it's clearly the biggest in this region. In this region. And a lot of people come out really, really dressed, and as you see, some go as far as hiring, which is exactly what it should be. Yeah. Lovely, and I agree, the bag is too big. Yeah. Should have been something smaller in a lighter color.
Okay. Can I also just give credit to the couple behind that? They look fabulous. The guy in Ankara and the lady in red, they look really good. Even though you can't see them clearly.
Yeah, so food for thought there. If you want to step out for these big events, there's no shame in hiring a gown. Some of them are too expensive, and you can't even wear them twice.
Except the shades, the lady in red. Only Burale would wear shades like those.
Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed and see what else is happening. This is Jalango, and you guys, you remember the other day we were talking about how he has evolved from his blouse and is now actually stepping out and putting a lot of thought into what he's wearing. Bob, let's start with you.
For Jalango, he is a man, an epitome of knowing how to move with the times. He did not overstay with his blouse, and I think what he has done, he has gone for the African look, yet still sophisticated look. That if need be, he would have removed the half coat and still looked suave for another evening function. So I think he's done fantastically well in that outfit.
Carol, this Ankara-inspired tuxedo for you, is it working?
I love the tuxedo. I love that he picked this. The only thing I can fault him with is wearing a tie instead of a bow tie. I think if he would have gotten a bow tie, it would have changed the look completely. An actual real one, not, you know, the ones with the dangly pieces of string. I think that's the only thing that would have given his look just a little more polish.
Yeah? Okay, so this another win, Ian?
Or black?
Black.
Black.
Yes.
Also not an Ankara bow tie, a black bow tie.
No, there's already too much Ankara.
Okay.
The dress code was black tie.
Okay.
Yes, it was. And that's a win.
Just a black tie.
Literally. Annabelle, let's talk about this tuxedo, Annabelle, the lapels and the waistcoat and the tie. Is that working for you?
I can tell by the tone of your voice it's not working for you. But I would agree. I see what you mean. It feels...
Yeah, what do you think?
It does feel like a little bit of overkill. I feel like there's one thing too many, and that's a mistake people keep making over and over again. Jalango is a funny man, so it's nice to see a comedian who dresses up, you know, in a way that isn't funny. It's actually quite serious. I like that contrast. I would have liked him to, like Bob had suggested, get rid of the waistcoat and save it for another time.
And now that you brought up the comedian issue, before these guys used to be in character, and that's why we're talking about his blouse. Because they'd come, you know, on stage with these comical clothes and what have you. But now, going for their performances, you sort of get the feeling that they're actually starting to think about what they wear, you know, more. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think before it was very slapstick, you know, it felt very juvenile and young. And everybody grows up, and they've grown up now. Now they're men, and they're accomplished comedians, and it's nice to see them looking the part. They're, you know, they're respected in our community. They're not, you know, laughed at. We laugh with them, not at them.
Well said, Annabelle. Okay, so let's proceed and see who else is at the Groove Awards. This is DJ Creme de la Creme and his wife. And I saw that she actually, on her Instagram, she said something about him losing the t-shirt for the first time ever, and that she convinced him to dress this way. Let's start with you, Ian. What do you think about this look? Just all of it, the tie, the jacket, the sneakers.
No, it doesn't work for me. Sorry, it doesn't work for me. If you're going to dress sharp, then go all the way, but don't mix the two. No.
Or maybe he was trying to stay with that whole DJ.
No,
I don't want to be too straight jacket.
No, that look doesn't work for me.
Yeah?
It doesn't work for me.
Carol? Or you could comment on the gown as well, the halo, which Annabelle totally dissed last week. And
I know this halo. This is a very Kenyan trend, by the way. Lace and halo, a combination. It's so Kenyan. Like it's like 2014 and we're in 2016. It's serious. Look, you want to move forward. You know, you don't want to stay with the trend because it works. You want to find something more interesting and just explore something different. I mean, she looks great with it. The color is great for her skin tone. It shows off her legs. It's beautiful. It's just that in terms of a red carpet is about showing off trends and showing how fashion forward you can be. The DJ lose the shoes, tuck in the shirt, lose the tie and get a bow tie. It's very simple, very simple things you can do to change your look. I know the sneakers on the red carpet look can work, but only if you're Justin Timberlake.
I'm curious about, so Annabelle, like I said this high-low trend needs to go. Last week, I'm quoting her, she said this has stayed too long, stayed in the Kenyan market too long. Annabelle, what's your thoughts process right now?
Carol is right. Everything she said is right. No need to repeat. As for Creme, I think it's just trying too hard. I think you don't need to try so hard. Fashion doesn't need to look like, you know, you were in the mirror trying different things, and then it's too much. I think keeping it classic is always the best way to go. And we were just talking about how if you're in the creative industries and you dress really sharp, that contrast is really what makes people respect you even more at what you do. Even if you're a DJ, he would look really great in just a nice suit, classic.
And you know, Robert, Creme de la Creme is actually one of the most established DJs in the country, and he gets booked for a lot of corporate events. So, and he's a really good-looking guy as well. So this look for him, is it doing him justice?
No, he's my very good friend, but I have to be very objective. If I was to advise him, or just tell him to lose the shoes, because the jacket is well-fitting, tuck in the shirt and you look good. His wife, actually, I disagree with the two ladies. She looks absolutely fantastic. Yes, you're saying it's 2014, and it's not the trend now, but I love people who don't have to go with the trend, but dress what you're comfortable in. And I think she's pulled it off very well.
Yeah, but you don't, like you said, you don't want stylists like Annabelle passing and saying, wow, that is so 2002.
But you can't please everybody.
But the irony in your statement is that she's actually wearing some of the biggest trends ever. So when you're saying that people just follow their own beat and not wear trend, that's actually not what...
No, because you said it's 2014 and you're in 2016.
Yes.
If she's comfortable, this coat of mine, I think, is 1990. You know? But I make it look good.
Well, that's because it's vintage.
That's how I have to
It's how you wear it.
Well, anyway, I suppose the focus here is to keep it trendy, and this is currently not. So let's move on. This is Awinja, Citizen TV's very own Awinja. Jackie here wearing, I believe, Yvonne Odhiambo,
yes.
Afro Street.
Yes.
So she's petite, and she chose to go for this big gown. Well, Annabelle, let me start with you. We've seen Jackie on the red carpet previously, and that's a new hairdo as well. We know her for her natural hair. So tell us what you think. I actually didn't know this was her. Yeah. Looks totally different.
Yeah, she looks totally different. I mean, she's such a gorgeous girl. I love her natural. I love this girl's afro. It's all over Instagram. It's so healthy. It's gorgeous. So this is a different take. I mean, she's wearing a weave, I guess.
Yeah.
And I love the top knot that she's done. I think that's very modern. I also love the choker. I think that's a very sort of, when you're trying to be current on the red carpet, wear a choker because that's cool. Now, her choice of gown is interesting because, like you said, she is very small and there is a lot of volume on this dress. And I feel like she's kind of lost in it. I mean, she's lucky she's so beautiful, so she just gets away with it.
Yeah, Ian, too much volume on the dress for you.
I saw her, and it didn't look like this. She looked really, really beautiful. Yes.
So it didn't look as big as it
No. Yvonne did a great job.
Okay.
It fit her really well.
Carol, for the petite girls like Jackie here, what do you... Is this the right choice of gown for her? Because we know Faith was wearing something almost similar, but Faith is a curvy girl. For Jackie, she's petite. Does this work for her?
Well, you know, I've been thinking of how to be diplomatic about this as we're talking. Honestly, I don't like this look on her. It overwhelms her, and I've seen her before on the red carpet, and she has looked really good, and she's a beautiful woman. She's very stylish. This is definitely not her best look, because it just, I don't want to nitpick, but it doesn't do justice to her frame. Not just because she's petite, but because it doesn't flatter. You don't see, it doesn't flatter her bust line, it doesn't flatter her waistline. It doesn't make her look like what she was going for. It doesn't make her look feminine in a classic way, and I think that's the look she had wanted. I think it is an ill-fitting gown, and it doesn't photograph well. So if it looked good when Ian was seeing it, usually with the red carpet, most people never get to attend. They just see the images, and it is the images that will carry the day. So if you're going for the red carpet, think of how it will photograph, not necessarily how it looks. Think how will it take a picture. This fabric doesn't take pictures properly.
No, the photo doesn't flatter her, but she looked really nice.
Yeah.
Bob, do you like it?
She looks good, but I would have advised petite girls to wear something that is fitting. Then we see and appreciate the petiteness, for lack of a better word.
Okay, so too much fabric going on here. Give us your thoughts. Use the hashtag 22422. This is Antonio Sol wearing something similar to what we saw on Sauti Sol some time back. And last week you guys spoke really highly of what he chose to wear, the multi-choice event. Ian, let me start with you. Antonio Sol, he seems to have these different looks everywhere. We haven't quite seen him having a signature style. What do you think?
Like I said, he's still going through a lot of change. He's still trying to figure himself out, or he just wants to be a chameleon. Okay, this was black tie. He chose to completely ignore it, and he came in as Antonio Sol, the artist, which for me is okay. Yeah, it is okay.
Annabelle, tell us about this. Is it okay? Let's talk about what he has on the top, because he looks like he's wearing dressy pants. Okay, tell us about this look.
Yeah, I mean, I see, like, it just feels like there are a lot of different elements going on that don't necessarily, shouldn't necessarily go together. I wish he picked either, you know, the jersey cover-up that he's wearing or the hat. I feel like there's too many statements. And then when you pair sort of something really slouchy like jersey with a dress pant, it feels like it doesn't go together. I do like the fact that he's kept it in the tone of greys and blacks. That's nice, and I think that's why he's gotten away with it. But I would pick one, leave one at home.
What pants would have worked better with that?
I mean, probably something more fitted, because that's a nice contrast between the volume on top and the really slim on the bottom. So, I mean, really, I would say just maybe remove the hat.
But he does love to be photographed, so probably he believes that his style is really on point. What do you think?
Definitely believes. Keep the hat, remove the top. That top looks like a curtain. It looks like it was cold and all of a sudden the event was taken to an open air and it was raining. Remove the top. Keep the hat, looks fantastic. If it's a shirt, nice trouser fitting, good shoes. Keep the shades, good look.
without the curtain.
Yes. Just remove it. He's a very good dresser, to be honest. And sometimes when you try too much, you kill it.
But this is what we were talking about, trends again, Robert. This is trendy, Carol, isn't it?
Well, he breaks the rules and he doesn't dress like a typical Kenyan meal wool. So for me, that's definitely a win. I like someone who thinks outside the box, especially when it comes to fashion. I would actually say that he keeps that curtain that Robert is saying, because that's the biggest statement piece he can make when he's on the red carpet with just that on its own. And it's a very fashion-forward piece. I'm not sure about the shade.
What is it called? It's not called
I can't remember.
But what is it called?
I mean, it's like a duster coat or like a kimono, but the male version of that.
But I hear what Carol is saying, making statements. But sometimes the statements are not right. It's not just about making statements.
No. He's comfortable in it.
If we're coming here every Saturday to decide, then everybody else can talk about it.
Can I just tell you something? Antonio Sol knows exactly what he's doing every time he leaves the house when he's dressed the way he is. He's not making any random mistakes.
And he knows people are going to look at him.
Yes.
So does that mean that we should never bash anybody else who dresses badly? Because then we would say they're making their own statements.
Well, we can always disagree.
Most are not.
But this is, okay, well, I get it. This is not typically what you'll find guys in Nairobi wearing. So tell us what you think about this look. Would you wear it? Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Kambua in Wamboi Mukenyi. And this here is Citizen's very own Kambua once again. She is with Kubamba and she's a radio presenter as well. Let's talk about this gown, Carol. Let me get your thoughts.
Well, I love this. In fact, I wasn't even sure if it was on Kenya until I actually saw it on her Instagram page on Kambua's. Kambua is very beautiful. You know, this is what a red carpet is supposed to look like, because you pay attention to detail, to the hair, to the makeup, to the nails, to the handbag, to the fit of the dress. That's what people keep overlooking. It's how everything comes together that gives it that very classic look. Because when you got the red carpet, you're supposed to show people that you've arrived and you can handle your business. And that's what this says.
Okay, so Annabelle, like Ian is saying, this was a black tie affair. So the confusion, you know, between like Kambua's Ankara gown and Faith Muturi's bridal look there. Is that okay? That's fine. You can choose to do your own thing, your own Ankara interpretation of the red carpet and still flow with it.
Yes, I mean, I think diversity is what makes fashion so beautiful. I like the fact that they say black tie, and everybody's interpretation of black tie, yes, it is formal, but your interpretation of it can be completely different. A European-inspired gown or an African-inspired gown. This girl is so beautiful, I can't believe she's in radio. What a stunning girl. I love her braid. We've seen the top knot over and over. We saw a girl with a top knot last week. So that's clearly what's trending. Put your braids up in a nice bun on top of your head. I love this illusion sort of dress, which means the black paneling on the side really creates a slimming effect, and it really curves the petites that you were looking for earlier. So beautiful. I think she's so perfect.
Yeah, and Ian, she is perfect, isn't she?
Yes, I saw her and my jaw dropped. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really beautiful.
Ian, rather Robert.
You cannot fault this look. If you do, you're a hater.
So this is your best dress for you?
Oh yes, so far this is my best dress, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. All right. What do you think? Was Kambua the best dressed? Groove Awards 2016. Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Please tell us what you think. So a couple of guys here on the red carpet as well. DJ Johnny Celeb and yes, his friend. Let's talk about DJ Johnny Celeb. DJ Johnny Celeb is the one who has the red. Yes, the red on his lapel. Yeah. So let's begin with you, Annabelle. What is that he has there? Actually, I don't know. We can't quite tell. But let's talk about that look.
I'm going to assume there's some kind of embellishment, like a flower lapel and a boutonniere, which is very current. That's what the men are doing. That's how to restyle an old tuxedo or an old suit. Add, mix it up with the embellishments. Both of these gentlemen, I mean, there's really nothing bad I can say about them. I think this is how you're supposed to dress for the red carpet. Don't try too hard. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Even the gentleman on the right in the gray tuxedo jacket, I just love it. I mean, it's just simple.
Yeah.
Well fitted. They look happy. They should look happy because they are handsome.
And, let me talk to you just away from fashion a little bit, going back to what Ian earlier said about Groove Awards being the biggest event currently in the country. The fact that the gospel music industry is actually overshadowing the secular one because we don't have an event of this magnitude that is celebrating performing artists in the secular world. What's that about?
Of course, Groove Awards is very, very gospel, and it's automatic that they operate in the spirit of excellence. Everything is done, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, nothing is left to chance. And when people see you organizing an event with excellence, it flows down to them automatically, and they also dress excellently. We see some other secular events and people come in sagging jeans and shoes without tying their shoelaces. It's also a testament, not positive, of who the organizers are.
Yeah, so, and Ian, you were there, so the Groove Awards actually starting to stand out as one of the most prestigious events in the country, similar to almost like our Grammys, and yet there's the secular world which people would imagine is bigger than the gospel industry in the country.
The gospel music industry is by far larger than secular, and it had awards right up to Nigeria, the whole of Eastern Africa and Nigeria and Ghana. So it's really, really growing, and it's going to continue like that. And they're better organized. Gospel musicians are better organized than secular musicians.
So, by the way, I'm made to understand the other guy is MC Abel. So, no pan. Okay, so let's proceed and see who else was there. This is the next event. Miss World was in Kenya. And there she is with Terry Mungai, and Robert, you were at this event actually. So tell us about Miss World. Is she deserving of that crown?
Yeah,
you saw her up close and personal.
Yes, she walked in and she has an amazing presence. Great body.
How tall is she?
She's taller than me, so 6'2" at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great body, great brains, to be honest, when she's true to speak.
Oh, great brains.
Yeah, she does have great brains. Yeah.
He eventually noticed that.
Yes. and also allow me, let me talk about the CS Health, Mr. Kleopomailu. Kleopomailu dressed his body. The suit was such an expensive shade of blue, with a bright shirt and a nice bright and shades of dark tie. And I think he dressed very well, because sometimes we say politicians don't know how to dress or CSs don't know how to dress, but I think he taught us how to dress because he knew the event he was coming for. And I think Carol said some time back, if you know you're going for a glamorous event, make sure you dress accordingly during the day, or you carry some clothes. And he dressed accordingly. Madam Terry Mungai always bringing her A game, very smart.
Let's proceed and see who else was there. This is a once Miss World Kenya, Cecilia Mwangi, at the same event. Let me start with you, Ian.
Beautiful Cecilia. Why did you have to wear that hair? I don't know. This doesn't quite work. Doesn't give the image of a former Miss World Kenya. To be honest. To be honest, it's a step back.
This is a step back for you, Carol?
Well, yes, but not because of the hair, like Ian said. Actually,
it's okay, it's okay. I understand, darling.
I actually think the red looks great for her skin tone. Of course. But it's just, the dress is so casual. It's something that you would wear for a Sunday kind of, afternoon if you're hanging out with your friends. It's not for a formal event, especially if you're meeting international personalities who are former beauty queens, and you want to represent your history and the heritage that you're taking across from your time with the crown to somebody else. I think it's quite an address, actually.
Yeah. Annabelle?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think when you're a former beauty queen, even when you sort of put down your crown because someone else has taken over, you will always be a beauty queen. I mean, she will always be Miss World Kenya. And, you know, that's the crown you just have to wear. You have to bear it like a cross. And you have to, you know, show up at events looking the part for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And this does not look the part. I mean, she doesn't look, you know, like pageant royalty. And I actually hate the hair.
Really?
Yeah, because I just don't think it makes her look beautiful.
It doesn't.
But she's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
Yes.
She is beautiful.
Yes,
That's why I don't like
the hair.
The hair and the dress.
Yes.
Bob?
I mean, I know what my panel is saying, as my fellow panelists are saying, and I think the only positive thing I will say is that she did not wear too many accessories that I see many models doing.
I think you're pitching for a job with Terry Mungai. I don't even know what you just said. Seriously.
No, I mean, I'm just being kind.
So she has a nice bracelet.
I wish she had.
She has a nice
She did not add insult to injury by wearing 300 bracelets. That's what he's saying.
Well, maybe Cecilia is Bob's friend. Let's leave it at that.
Well, no, it's okay.
Do you have anything else? Okay, so our last picture of the day. This is Ida Goma, and this is actually why Miss World was in the country to support her campaign. When Ida Goma was in the pageant, she had a smile campaign that she won a prestigious award over, and they came to recognize that effort on her part. So this is Ida Goma. So does this peak pageant royalty to you, Annabelle?
Yes, this is it.
Absolutely.
This is what we've been looking for.
Absolutely.
This is it. This is it. This is it. I mean, gosh, I don't even know where to start. First, the pose. I mean, how gorgeous can you pose for a picture? We are seeing this trend of the lace overlay again. That bridal theme keeps coming up over and over again. And when something comes up over and over again, it's a trend.
Whose dress is that? Do you have any idea?
I don't know whose dress this is.
Afro Street. Yvonne.
I mean, it's just stunning. I love the sheer on top, and I love the fact that it's a high neck because that's what gives it that regal quality. And just the full skirt, the red lipstick gives it a pop of color. Perfection.
And no accessories, Bob. What do you think?
There's something, I'm almost a sucker for poses. This is what we call royalty in posing. I mean, confidence and understanding who you are, but without being too arrogant. And I think the dress is decent yet classy.
Yeah.
But what I realized about Kenyan men, we don't understand when the ladies wear these flowing dresses, and I noticed many ladies trying to, you know, you're stepping on my dress. So Kenyan men need to understand that, always understand that these gowns need some space.
Definitely.
You know?
Don't walk like you're walking into an ATM together or an M-Pesa shop or something.
Carol, what do you think?
Oh, I love this. It's very beautiful, very regal, definitely representative of a beauty queen. I however have a few problems with, you know, just her hair and how she's wearing it and her makeup. I think it could stand a little tweaking and sophistication. I think her eyebrows are a little too dark, and the reason why I'm saying that is because it takes away attention from her face, and that's the first thing you notice when you look at her face. I think that if she just found a way to, update her look when it comes to hair and makeup, then it would complete it for me.
And Ian?
Sorry, I can't see all that even as I've got space.
Well, I saw it.
I love it. So you've got, you are close and personal.
Yes, I have X-ray vision.
Oh, wow. I love it. She looks absolutely fantastic, gorgeous.
Yes. This is a win for the panel as well. Let's take a look at your tweets. Jalango Munyewe has many sides of himself. He can be anything he wants to be. This is
Frederick, very faithful. Very
Oi, DJ Creme, that old Reebok shoes and a suit looking like my high school head boy. Oh no, you did not just
even
go
we
there.
do not say that.
On. Yeah. Kate, Anthony Assault
Oh my God, people say we are mean.
Kate!
Hello, Anthony Assault, I think he's pitched open his design shop, though he is overdone. Mudoni, Kambua looks fantastic, always does actually, we agree. And Kambua, Faith Materi, Awinja, absolutely gorgeous. Johnny, celeb, perfect. Antonio Sol, creme de la creme, epic.
Wow. Good for
He summed up pretty much
Yes.
what the panel
Yes.
tonight. Okay, so thanks for your time. Next week we hope to bring you, among other images, the black and gold party that went down in the weekend that was, amongst other new trends in the country. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Good night.